Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Michael Dion Henfield III. Henfield was shot and killed on Friday, April 12, 2019, in the 1300 block of East 114th Street in Watts, according to LA County coroner records. Craig Jack was subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. Defendant is an admitted member of the Grape Crips. One of the Grape Street's rivals is the Bounty Hunter Bloods. Their territories are located about a mile from each other in LA and are adjacent at some points. The hub of the Bounty Hunter Blood territory is the Nickerson Gardens housing project. The hub of the Grape Street Crip territory is the nearby Jordan Downs housing project. The two gangs demonstrate mutual disrespect by robbing and killing one another. Consequently, several surveillance cameras are positioned throughout Nickerson Gardens and Jordan Downs, which record and monitor vehicle travel and activities around the clock. Alicia Gray lived in Jordan Downs, but was friendly with members of both gangs. As a female, she was able to safely travel between the rival gangs' territories. Defendant was one of Gray's close friends. She met him in 2008 and called him Fatty. She also knew the shooting victims, Damianye Hubbard, whom she called Roscoe, and Michael Henfield, who's the father of Gray's cousin Natasha Lee's child. Hubbard and Henfield belonged to the Bounty Hunter Bloods. In late July or early August 2013, Gray borrowed a car from defendant. When the car was impounded, Gray rented a car on defendant's behalf at the Hertz rental agency near LAX. Defendant selected the car, a 2013 charcoal gray Nissan Altima, with license plate number 7ACA334. Defendant paid for it with his credit card, but Gray used her driver's license for the month-long rental. After driving herself home, Gray left the car with defendant. Defendant let Gray use the car a few times for errands, but he usually drove the car. Gray understood, however, that gang members also would be using the car. At approximately 3:10 a.m. on August 11, 2019, LAPD officers responded to a call of a shooting at the intersection of 112th Street and Central Avenue in LA. When officers arrived, they observed partygoers shouting and running in the street. In the absence of any reported injuries, the officers left. The shooting was not captured on surveillance videotape, but the 2013 Altima rented by Gray was photographed traveling northbound on Alvaro Street. The 2013 Altima was observed on surveillance tape driving westbound on 112th Street from Compton Avenue at 4:36 a.m. that same morning. At about 4:38 a.m., victims Hubbard and Henfield were seen walking southbound in Nickerson Gardens on Success Avenue toward 114th Street. As shown in the surveillance tape, the 2013 Altima stopped at the intersection of those streets and three males emerged. All three fired gunshots at Hubbard and Henfield. As Hubbard and Henfield began to run, Henfield was struck 3 times and fell to the ground. According to the medical examiner, Henfield died immediately from a gunshot wound to his head. Hubbard took 3 bullets to his right side but survived. The 3 males got in the car and drove eastbound on 114th Street toward Compton Avenue, where they turned right and traveled southbound away from the scene. The identities of the suspects could not be determined from the surveillance footage. Police recovered 44 expended cartridge casings from the scene, some .45 caliber and others 9mm. More than 30 bullet strikes were observed on nearby apartment walls. Officers then went to the location of the earlier shooting at Central Avenue, where they collected 9 additional expended casings, comprised of both 9mm and .380 caliber cartridges. Officers believe the 2 shooting incidents were related. A few hours later, on August 11th, defendant called Gray about returning the 2013 Altima to the rental agency. He told Gray they had to take the car back because it had been shot and there were bullet holes in it. Defendant drove the car to Hertz, where he met Gray. Gray didn't ask defendant about the bullet holes because she generally didn't ask questions about such things. Defendant completed the rental return form, which Gray signed, and Gray rented another car for defendant. Defendant wrote that the shooting happened in Hollywood. When Gray received the second rental car, she drove it around to where defendant was waiting. Before driving away, defendant told Gray that if he knew it was her cousin's baby daddy, he would have never shot. He also said if they want war, they can get it. Defendant also told Gray that if she was questioned by police, she should say that the car was in Hollywood. Gray did not ask questions because it was better not to. Defendant drove away in the new rental car. Later, Gray heard rumors that Grape Street was responsible for the fatal shooting. The next day, on August 12th, Gray received a call from a friend informing her that the second rental car had been stopped nearby. Gray walked to the location to retrieve the car and saw the defendant and her cousin Justin Scott Leader had been pulled over by police. Defendant received a citation for driving on a suspended license. Gray told the officers it was her rental car, but they impounded it anyway. On August 13, police officers informed Gray she could pick up the car at the police station. When she arrived, she was questioned at length by detectives about the shooting of Hubbard and Henfield. At first, Gray lied because she was scared and didn't want to be a snitch. After she was arrested and booked into jail, she asked to speak again with detectives. This time she told a different version of what happened. Gray testified she told detectives about the first rental car and the shootings because she didn't want to go to jail for something she didn't do. Gray also stated that defendant explained how the 3 bullet holes got into the car. He said they were driving along, saw the Nickersons, and then got shot at. Defendant said the Nickerson expletive got shot. They want war, they got war. Gray was promised leniency on her accessory charge in exchange for her honest testimony at trial. The agreement with the prosecution was that if she testified truthfully, her charges would be reduced to a misdemeanor violation of resisting or obstructing a peace officer. A forensic fingerprint specialist examined the 2013 Altima. He did not identify any latent prints on the car's interior, but found 5 latent prints on its exterior. It was determined that 4 of the prints matched those of Justin Scott Leader, Jamel Murray, Denzel Lee, and defendant, who with the exception of Lee were all Grape Street gang members. An analysis of data from the defendant's cell phone revealed that between 1:01 a.m. and 3:38 a.m. on August 11, 2019, a large number of calls were made in the vicinity of Jordan Downs. Later calls from the phone included one at 4:05 a.m. near West 6th Street and one made near the intersection of the 110 and the 10 freeways. At 4:39 a.m., just after the 4:38 a.m. shooting, the phone was used 1.13 miles from the site of the shooting. When provided with a hypothetical set of circumstances mirroring the prosecution's evidence in this case, the prosecution's gang expert opined that the killing of the victim benefited the shooter's street gang by creating an atmosphere of fear and intimidation within the community they claim, as well as with the surrounding gangs. The violence bolstered the gang's reputation, lessening the likelihood that its members will be shot at by rival gang members or that the members of the community will call the police or testify against them. Following the trial, the jury convicted defendant Craig Jack of first-degree murder and attempted premeditated murder. As to both counts, the jury found true the gun and gang allegations. The court sentenced defendant to a prison term of 90 years to life. Michael Dion Henfield III was 29 years old at the time of death.